We got there. This team does not make it easy for us, but we got there. Man United have won their second game of the season. In weird circumstances, but I think overall I can say deserved. We deserve to win this game. Now, I don't think I can possibly even get into this game without mentioning what happened in that first half, because I think it definitely impacts the course of the game. 5 minutes in, Robert Sanchez comes out, scythes down the oncoming Mbeumo to make it 10v11 for what we thought would be the rest of the game. And all of a sudden, in a sudden moment of chaos, the whole course of this game, the whole destiny of this game completely changes. I would be lying if I said that didn't change how things went. But the reality is 11v11, 10v11, Man United still have to manage the game. They still do. And I will say this as well. Before that red card, I think Man United were really good. Now, I know it was only 5 minutes, but I think we started the game very, very well. We were on Chelsea. Our press from the front was aggressive. We were winning the ball high up. And we caused that mistake to happen, right? Long ball over the top from Binder. Sesko wins it brilliantly to flick it into Mbeumo's path before, obviously, Sanchez had to come out and bring him down. Now, 11v10, many different things can happen, right? Either the team with 10 men could completely park the bus, and the team of 11 has the numerical advantage but can't break them down, and the game drags on, and the longer it drags on, the more frustrated the team of 11 gets, and the more comfortable the team of 10 gets. That's one scenario that could have happened. Or the team of 11 punishes and takes advantage of that numerical superiority, gets a goal early on, the floodgates start to open, the other team needs to open up a little more, and they kind of dictate how the game goes. And I'm very happy to say for Man United, the latter happened today, because a big worry for me was at 10 men, I thought Man United, playing against that kind of side, would struggle and turn this game into a real war. They would really make it much more difficult, and they didn't. So I'm very happy that happened. But also, today, I think just as much as Man United winning this game, I think you have to look at Maresca losing it. I think Maresca has massively shot himself in the foot today. I'm going to allow the Palmer substitution, because I think it's an injury, right? He comes off, he goes down the tunnel, he comes back out. I'm reading reports that might be a groin. So I'm going to allow that because it's an injury. You can't control that. However, to take both Estevao and Neto off after 5 minutes, that's your transition threat, your ball carrying threat, your counter-attacking threat. To take those two players off after 5 minutes is baffling to me, right? I understand one of them because you had to take Sanchez off and bring on a goalkeeper. But both of them. And then Palmer, due to necessity, a few minutes later. Within 20 minutes, Chelsea took away any attacking threat they had. And Maresca did it himself. I'm sorry, this game was almost entirely on Maresca letting down his team. I don't understand that decision whatsoever. I think he almost spiraled after the red card. He had no idea how to approach the game, and his decision completely backfired on him. Now, I know there's going to be people in the comment section saying, well, that's hindsight. Imagine he had taken them off and they defended very well. Of course that can happen, but what he did really kind of took any control Chelsea had in terms of at least trying to go for this game out of their hands. They then relied on how well they could defend against 11 men. And ultimately, it didn't work very well because Bruno and Casemiro scored the 2 goals for Man United today, both of them off very similar situations, right? Crosses into the box or passes back into the box. One of them, Reece James, I have no idea what he's doing. Absolutely just catapulting the ball in the air. Man United take advantage of it. I think it was Luke Shaw who basically heads it back. And Casemiro is there at the back post. He's turning into, by the way, the most dangerous player for Man United on set pieces. Honestly, this guy off set pieces is a problem. And then Bruno Fernandes as well too, timing his run exceptionally well from Dorgu's header across the box. Narrowly onside, but on job to finish home. And it's 100 goals for Man United for Bruno Fernandes. This is a midfield player. That's ridiculous. And it's why I continue to be a little baffled as to why he continues playing this deep. A midfielder of 100 Premier League, over 100 goals for Man United. Insane. And by the way, Bruno today was sensational. I think he, alongside Matthijs de Ligt, were the man of the matches for Man United today. Didn't put a foot wrong. Bruno was so good at so many different things today. And I understand it's a game of a lot more space for him to play in, which of course benefits him because he likes finding runners. He likes finding guys in transition. But you can't take anything away. I see a lot of people saying, oh, you're celebrating Man United winning against 10 men. Yes, first of all, I am because I'm happy to get 3 points. But secondly, you can only play what you're up against. It's not Man United's fault that the other team had 10 men. So therefore, you don't stop playing or you don't just say, oh, they have 10 men, so it doesn't matter. You still have to win the game. So I give massive credit to Bruno Fernandes today. I thought him and Casemiro, I thought were really, really good. This game honestly looked like, chat, at one point it could be 3 or 4-0. And it's part of the reason why I'm a little underwhelmed at how the end of the game went. I'm happy for the win. Don't get it twisted. But I'm a little underwhelmed because I think 11v10, this game was fully in our control. We were 2-0 up and we were creating. Benjamin Sesko made so many good runs today, found himself in so many dangerous positions that either Patrick Dorgu could not find him with a cross, and we need to talk about Dorgu's crossing because to start the season, it has been poor, guys. Poor. So many times he looks up and sees 3 or 4 guys in front of him in the box waiting for a delivery, and his cross can't beat the first man. Sesko today, I feel for him. And then the other guy is Ahmad, who again, so many times this season has found himself in attacking positions where one last pass, one last decision could lead to a goal-scoring opportunity. And I feel like he's consistently choosing the wrong decision. Bruno as well, too, for as good a game as he played. I think there was a moment towards the end of the first half where Sesko's making one run, Ahmad's making the other. He plays Sesko, but I think the right decision was to Ahmad. And I know these aren't like chances created on the stat sheet, but for me, it's like a pass before what would have been a chance created. And we're getting those passes wrong. Today, we could have scored more than 2, which is why I'm a little disappointed that it only ended 2-1, because going into the half, up to 11v10, I would have said second half, we'll destroy these guys. And then Casemiro ruins what was a great performance with a real moment of madness that I feel we see too many times from Casemiro. Now, on second reflection, is it a little harsh? I do think so. Because yes, he's pulling him back, but he also wins the ball. However, I'm frustrated with Casemiro because don't even give the referee a chance to make that decision. Right? The half's almost done. It's a counterattack, yes, but it's not like they were going to score off that. There's no guarantee of that. And your team is in control. You know you're on a yellow card, and you're a very experienced player. He didn't have to do that. And by doing that, he got sent off. And all of a sudden now, we're going into the second half, 10v10. In my mind, you got to reset at that point. This whole mood that you were in the first half is out the door now. Because now Chelsea have a chance to get back into this game. Yes, United were the better team, 10v11. But if that game had started and finished 11v11, would we have won today's game? I'm not sure. So to even give Chelsea the opportunity to get back into that game through a player as experienced as Casemiro it was annoying. It was really frustrating. However, second half happens. I knew he was going to bring on Ugarte. I knew it, right? You can't leave Bruno on an island, and I didn't think he was going to trust Menu in this kind of game. The decision to take Sesko off, I was a little disappointed by, because again, I think Sesko was having a decent game. I think I would have taken off Ahmad. Again, hindsight. But I didn't think Ahmad played a great game. And the fact that he lasted all 90 minutes, I'm a little surprised by. However, he decided to take off Sesko. Not a surprise that he brought on Ugarte. But then you look at Chelsea and you think, okay, 10v10 now. You have a chance to get back in this game. You've taken off all 3 of your attackers because you thought you were going to defend. It didn't work out, but you've been given a lifeline now, right? Casemiro going it off, and now 45 minutes to play even is a lifeline. And Maresca didn't take that lifeline. You got Garnacho on the bench today, making his return to Old Trafford. All of the talk before the game is about Garnacho. Will he come back to haunt his team, his former team? He didn't see the pitch today. And in fact, guys, something else that really puzzled me about Maresca today. He's got Garnacho on the bench, and he's got Jamie Gittins on the bench. He has no attackers bar Joao Pedro. These two combined cost what? I think he was what? 40, 50 million, maybe even more. Garnacho was 40. You're looking at upwards of 80 million pounds for these two players. Maybe even more. I can't remember how much Gittins went for. But you're looking at over 80 million for these two players. None of them come on in a game where you're looking for a goal. And the player that you were looking to sell on the last day of the window, he was gone, right? Chelsea's decision was to sell him. He comes on over these two. In my opinion, guys, give United full credit today, because you got to get the job done. He coached the 0 out of 10 game today. I think he massively undercoached the game today. The decision-making, the timing of the substitutions, the selection of the substitutions was all wrong. All wrong. And in that second half, Chelsea had most of the ball, right? The game finishes with what? Around 60% possession for Chelsea. Man United, I thought, were comfortable in that second half. Now, it is a little concerning for me that in terms of possession, we did concede that much possession, right? We didn't really have control of the ball. But also, off the ball, I felt like we were in control. And that's down to these guys not really being able to do anything, even with it being 10v10. And their 3 most attacking players came off. So yeah, Chelsea today, massively confusing. Of course, they get themselves back in the game. Chalobah grabbing a late goal. And again, I got really scared towards the end because now 15, 20 minutes left on the clock. Chelsea have a lifeline. Chelsea have a chance to grab 1 goal in a game that they were completely out of. But again, if we're being real, bar across from Reece James that Bayender fumbled, and Santos couldn't even get on target, Chelsea did not really lay a glove on United this game. And in the second half, there was a part of me that was a little afraid they were going to. I give credit to United for defending quite well. This guy right here has started the season unbelievably. Unbelievably. I thought he was so good today. Seriously, so good. Didn't put a foot wrong. This is a tough customer to deal with, Joao Pedro. He's a good player. And I actually thought of all of Chelsea's players, he was probably their best player. These ratings are so weird to me. Caicedo, I didn't think played well today. Chalobah grabs the goal. To be fair, he defended pretty well. But I thought he was one of their best players today. Ran the channels tirelessly, had no support the entire game, held it up when he needed to. And yes, he had some success against the back line. But I thought De Ligt played as good a game as you could expect today. So good. One thing I don't understand that Amorim does, this decision to always bring in a defender and take one off. Euro comes on today. I was surprised Euro didn't start, but regardless. And then on a set piece, we get done because Euro didn't mark Chalobah. But I have to ask, like, would that have happened if Maguire stayed on? Like, when you're subbing center backs, you're introducing them into the flow of the game. It's different to an attacker coming on. The center back has to get totally accustomed to the tempo of the game. It's something that Amorim does every single game. I'd love to understand his thought process behind it, but I think he's going to continue doing it. Mazraoui, I thought, was excellent today. Seriously, very, very good. Mbeumo was okay, decent. His runs off the last line were really dangerous. I'll give him that. But yeah, Dorgu, for me, I'm kind of surprised he got a 7.7. I'm very surprised about that. This guy's crossing needs to improve because clearly a big way of how Amorim's teams create chances is from wide areas, right? Long balls and, of course, crosses. But yes, it's a problem with the system that Dorgu is often our most advanced wide player. That's down to the system. But also, Dorgu is a professional footballer. The crossing has to get better. It has to, because throughout the season, we've seen numerous times where Dorgu ends up in these kinds of pockets, right? He's very, very high and wide. I'm not saying every cross has to be perfect, but when you have a target like this guy, 6'5", very dangerous in the air, you have to find him at least once, guys. At least once. So that was something that was frustrating for me. But ultimately, guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm just happy we won the game. I'm so happy. I see a lot of people out there that are asking me, like, don't you want Man United to lose because you don't like Amorim? Let me keep making this very clear. I support Manchester United. I don't support Ruben Amorim, right? He's my manager, and if he does well, I'll be happy. But if he doesn't, I'm not going to be happy. Having said that, I support the club. So I want the club to do well. And also, I'm a fan of Man United. Guys, we've won 9 games now in about 11, 12 months. I'm starving for wins. I'm starving to celebrate my team scoring goals. That's all I want right now. So anybody under the illusion that, or under the disillusion rather, that I am rooting for Man United to lose games so that the guy I don't rate as a manager leaves earlier, no. I would love for Amorim to turn it around. I would. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But my agenda is Man United winning games. So I will take it how I live, bro. I will take it any way Man United give it to me. Whether it's against 10 men, it could be against 6 men. They could be playing SDSFC for all I care. We need wins, bro. We need to climb up the table. We need to survive. Like, our win rate in the last 11 months is disgusting. So at this point, if you give me a win against Grimsby, we didn't get it, but I would have celebrated that. We need to win, bro. So all this talk about it was 10 men or this or that, it doesn't matter to me. Especially when you look at the next few fixtures. Brentford away, Sunderland at home, Liverpool away. These next 2 games, guys, we have to win both of them. We have to win both of them. Brentford away, Sunderland at home. If we can't win those games, guys, we're not doing much this season. We need to pick up wins however way we can get them. People are being too picky about the way we get wins. We're not a great team. So I don't care if it comes against 8-man Chelsea. 3 points, please. But ultimately today, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what the reaction is on social media. I don't know what the reaction is from the commentators. I haven't spoken to anyone about this game yet. I just got out of the watch along. I think United were deserving of this game. The stats say it. The eye test says it. I think a huge part of it, again, has to do with the fact that he had 10 men and this guy coached a terrible game. But all we can do is take care of business from our side. And I think we did today. I know people are going to be talking about Sesko. It's another game where he doesn't score. And I'm not trying to be hypocritical here because I was very critical of Højlund. But I'm watching Sesko compared to what I saw from Højlund. And I see enough signs to believe that he will come good. First and foremost, his movement is much better than Højlund's. He is making those darting runs in behind. He is coming short for it. He is getting himself in good positions. There's one moment, guys, where Ahmad is on the right. Sesko's inside the box. No one is around him. He's wide open. All you have to do is chip it to his head. He's going to score. And Ahmad can't find him. He runs it out of bounds. And I'm just thinking about, like, Sesko, once we start finding him in the air, in behind, he's fast, by the way. You can see this guy running in transition. He's got speed. It will come good with him, in my opinion. I'm not really worried about how many goals he's scored to this point. Look, the red card happens because of his flick on to Mbeumo. Would Højlund have even won that flick on last season? I'm very content with what Sesko is giving us. Of course, the goals will come, and he's a big money signing. So I understand that amount of money signing from Man United, the pressure is going to be on. But at the moment, I'm not worried. I'm not. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it goes on. Obviously, he's going to have to start scoring eventually. But I'm not worried at the moment. It was good as well, too, to see Mount and Cunha. Let's see how they kind of line up going forward. But I would like to see Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko. I hope he doesn't bench Sesko now for Mount the next game. I really hope not. Let this guy build a run of games now. Let him. As for Chelsea, though, right? That's Man United. We move on to the next game. As for Chelsea, let's call it what it is, guys. This has been a very underwhelming start to the season for me. Now, they started the season with 4 wins, four games unbeaten. But if you look at their fixtures, guys, first of all, they didn't leave London, but Crystal Palace at home, West Ham away, Fulham at home, Brentford away. I was predicting Chelsea after 4 games to be top of the league because all 4 of these games should be wins on paper. And yet, bar West Ham, they really made hard work of all the other games. They weren't convincing against Crystal Palace at home. They weren't convincing against Fulham at home. In fact, I think they got quite lucky. And then even against Brentford, they weren't convincing then. Now, this isn't a Chelsea team that I predicted to win the league, but I think there was a lot of hope amongst Chelsea fans after the Club World Cup that this team might have just come of age and could go into this season with hopes of really pushing potentially for a title. Not saying they were going to win it, but push. But after 5 games, I've only been convinced by one of their performances, and it's against one of the worst teams in the league. That has to be concerning for Chelsea. How will they go on this season? I don't know, but I think a lot of this, probably me included, probably overestimated this team a little too early. I understand, look, red card happened, but I'm being honest off what I've seen the whole season. I don't think Chelsea have really got going yet. And when you look at their fixture list, you kind of have to ask yourself, why haven't they got going? Why not? This should have been 4 wins from 4, and even against the United team under Amorim. Yes, I know they haven't beaten United at Old Trafford since 2013, but that's not a tough game anymore. It's not, right? This is the first time we win back-to-back home games in the Premier League under Amorim. That tells you what kind of environment it's been at Old Trafford recently. So as for Chelsea, man, I'd love to know what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below, especially, guys, because you guys are very, very defensive of your team. Every time I ever say something about Chelsea, it's like the whole cavalry comes out in terms of your fan base. You guys don't want to hear any kind of criticism from me, which, fair enough. No one wants to hear their team criticized. But you guys get very defensive about your team. But 5 games into the season, I'm not impressed. I'm not moved. I'm not convinced whatsoever. I maintain I don't think the end of your window ended well enough. But also, even the performances seem a little flat. What do you guys chalk that down to? I know Cole Palmer has been missing the first 4 games. That is definitely a reason for why Chelsea could have started the season slow. Cole Palmer hasn't been there. But I think even past that, there's something that feels a little off of Chelsea at the moment. Yes, they're getting through most games, but I think I was expecting a little more. So I would love to know your opinion. However, sitting 6th after the fixture list you guys had, 1 point above Man United. It's not great, is it? It's not great. Now, let's see what's the deal with Cole Palmer's injury. Right? I hope for his own sake and for Chelsea's sake that he's not injured for long because they need him. He is their best player, bar none. Sanchez is obviously going to miss the next game. But yeah, man, I especially feel, to be honest, in the wide positions, they are still struggling to kind of find consistent game-winning ability. This guy is extremely frustrating. I'm really frustrated by Pedro Neto because this guy at Wolves, I was such a fan of. But at Chelsea, I don't know. He hasn't taken off the way I thought he would. You know, sometimes you see a player at a smaller club and you just think, oh, maybe at a bigger club, he could really platform himself to take the next step. Look at Olise, for example. At one point, I looked at Olise and Neto as similar when they were both at Wolves and Palace. Since the two have moved to Chelsea and Bayern respectively, they're worlds apart. So Neto, for me, is a disappointment. Estevao is young, and I think he's actually been very impressive for what I was expecting. So I'm going to cut him some slack. And of course, he's the young kid. He was always going to come off for Sanchez today. But Garnacho and Gittins, again, I'm not massively convinced by either of them. I think that's really the position where I wish Chelsea had pushed a little harder in the window. More X factor in attack. I don't really think like they moved the needle too much in that regard. So maybe for Chelsea this season, it's another top 4, top 5 thing, which I think they should finish in. I think they are still a top 4 team in this league. But personally, from where I thought Chelsea were at the end of last season, how they ended last year, and how they did in the Club World Cup. Look, I'm not going to downplay the Club World Cup, but looking at it now, I feel almost a little fooled, to be honest with you. I do. They haven't really taken that next step that I thought they had. But you guys let me know that in the comment section below. As I said, Chelsea fans, they don't like to hear me talk about their team more. I mean, they like to hear me talk when it's positive, but I feel like they don't really take my criticism too well, which fair enough. We're all entitled to our opinion. I'm not saying I know more about Chelsea than them. But what do you guys think about the start of the season? Let me know. What do you guys think about the start of the season? What do you guys think, in hindsight, how the transfer window went? Do you guys think now, after seeing 5-6 games of this team, you guys could have done more potentially? And what is the goal for this season going forward? Have things changed? Do you still think this team is capable of making a push? Or has the last few weeks kind of given you more insight into how this team could finish? Let me know in the comment section down below. But for United, guys, enjoy your weekends. We don't get this very often. We don't. It's been a very hellish 11 months. We win one game a month, it seems. But games like today, up against a rival as well too, it's not time to celebrate because look, it's a long season. We might lose to Brentford next week, but take every win as you can, man. Because with this team, seriously, you don't know the next time it comes. So enjoy your dinner tonight. Enjoy whatever you guys are eating tonight. Enjoy the weekend as well too. You can watch all the other games, legs kicked up, feet on the couch. I don't know if cigar in mouth, if that's for you. Just enjoy yourselves, guys. And on to the next. I've been Lyes. Like, share, subscribe. 100,000 subscribers is on the horizon. We're trying to get there by the end of the year. And get involved in the comment section down below. Peace.